Elliot Cadeau has committed to Michigan, and then simultaneously, I've lost the ability to speak. If you can't tell, I don't know what's up with that. I've been sick for a couple days, but my voice sounds like Kermit the Frog now. So I guess that coincided with my least favorite player in the country committing to my school and being my head coach's priority one target. Dion, that's what happened. Um, Dion, I don't know if you can see, but this is Smokey the Bear on my hat. Do you know what Smokey the Bear's motto is?
I don't. What is it?
It's only you can prevent wildfires, which I thought was fitting because I'd like to speak directly to Dustin H. May right now. Dusty, only you can prevent dumpster fires. This is your job. That you inherited a dumpster fire and you spit out something that shocked us all. You gave me a second place finish, a Big Ten tournament title. Thank you. And a Sweet 16. So you've earned the benefit of the doubt from me, my friend. I'm talking to you directly. But you are pushing the limits, Buster. Like, good Lord. Have you ever watched Elliot Cadeau hoop? I don't even understand what we're trying to do right now. God damn. Dion, your thoughts.
Um, I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like you got Elliot Cadeau at home in a worst case scenario. Like Trey Donaldson, worst case scenario, I think could do what Elliot Cadeau does. I think the best version of Trey Donaldson provides more than Elliot Cadeau provides. I think you have young guards in my dog Fat Fat, as well as LJ, who I think have some potential there, specifically LJ, by the way, where I think there's something there and opportunity kind of needed to be provided. Um, and so it's a little confusing to me. What I will say isn't confusing though, G, it's whether it's Michigan football or basketball, this university's commitment to spending is remarkable. And I think how quickly they got Cadeau mixed in with just about every other name they're in on kind of shows that. And I will say this, like as a caution to Michigan fans with that is going to come the moments like this where you just couldn't disagree more with where the money is going. Um, and I do think there's going to be some fallout from this. If I had to guess, there's probably some point guards on the roster that will be out of there that we'll be making videos about shortly.
Yes. It certainly seems like a sign of maybe attrition to come. Roddy Gale liked Elliot Cadeau's Instagram post for what it's worth and like commented on it. So I don't know if Roddy plans on staying. He told the media he planned on staying. Just to be clear, if my head coach plans on starting Elliot Cadeau and Roddy Gale and a non-shooting center together, I'll see y'all in the crown next March. Um, Look, okay. I feel like I haven't even done my due diligence to like actually make enough comedic material out of this. Like I need to like reward my loyal listeners who have listened to me hate on this player for 2 years by how funny this karmic moment is that I now have to root for him. Like I need like 3 more minutes of making jokes about that. Then I can do some actual objective analysis about why I hate this. Then we can talk like, is there any world where this works? That's kind of got to be the sequence here. So let me make a few more jokes first. In Elliot Cadeau's Instagram post announcing that he is committing to Michigan, he said, "See you soon, Ann Harbor," with an H. Ann Harbor, Michigan. It's Ann Arbor, Dion. He doesn't know the name of the city he just committed to, which is a perfect little tiny metaphor for all of the issues I have with this dude. He makes easy things look incredibly hard. He makes stupid mistakes constantly. That's like he can't know the city that he's going to right now. It's a joke. Um, yeah, that's about all the comedic material I have. Do you have any more jokes to get off?
Yeah, I mean, listen, well, first off, I don't know if I'm one to clown him for his geography references with the way the full episodes have been going since you left, by the way. I proceeded to say that Greece was underwater this morning. So
Nice.
that's where I'm at geography wise. But the kid gets guarded like a toddler. It makes Jeremiah Fears look like he's getting ball pressure on him at the 3-point line. There's no other way to describe it. It looks like you have to guard guy. Like it looks like they were guarding Rajon Rondo in the NBA, like he was Steph Curry, the way Elliot Cadeau gets guarded sometimes. Um, I'm gonna steal one from Cart. That Cart put in a group chat. Cart, it's not like Cart's gonna watch this anyway. Uh, Cart called him point guard Rey Mysterio. I don't know if you've ever watched WWE, but I've been dying about that one ever since I saw him say it. Listen, there a world that this works? Maybe. Maybe. I don't believe that we're living in that world, unfortunately, for Michigan fans. I don't want to speak for you, speak for any Michigan fan or Dusty. I don't see the world. He's a perennial loser. Like he hasn't really won. I mean, he was on the national title team, right? That made it that far.
Um, Wait, who? Sorry, which one?
Yeah, he was on that team that made the Natty, right?
No, he was on the Sweet 16 team.
Yeah, I mean that's even worse. So he was on the team that like came back, brought everyone back, missed the tournament, made the Sweet 16, and then lost in the first round of this tournament. That's his like resume, essentially. And they
He's only been there
shouldn't
two
have him.
years.
Oh, he's only there too.
Only
My
been there
bad.
two. His first year, which is actually one of the most pro Cadeau arguments you can make. His first year, he was a reclass point guard as a freshman in college a year early and started on a one seed that made the Sweet 16.
I was gonna
So,
say the amount of eligibility.
right. So it can work when you have the perfect pieces around him.
Hmm.
But I just think Michigan's really far off from having those pieces. I'm sick as hell right now, if you can't tell. I'm really trying to power through this to show face for the world to laugh at me, basically. But no, it can work. The year that they were good, they had R.J. Davis, Harrison Ingram, Cormac Ryan, and Armando Bacot. That's four 22-year-old very good players, shooters, a post star, and an All-American shooting guard. That works. Okay. What happened this year? He had the All American shooting guard back. He had Seth Trimble, who I love. And then he had two lottery picks in Drake Powell and Ian Jackson and wasn't good enough. It was his team. Ball's in his hands. He's the guy who's supposed to take a leap. He didn't. So I've been frustrated because in the Michigan boards, it's a community I think really does have high basketball IQ for the most part. At least in the Hoops forum. Shout out to Dylan Burkhart, who's cultivated a great community. But like over there, like I'm being the negative Nancy that's just shitting on this, and everyone's like, "Oh, it can't." It seems like what did he do to you? Like he can't possibly be that bad. And I'm like, no, it's that bad. Watch. Have you watched him? I guarantee you haven't watched as much him as I have. And every game that I have watched of Elliot Cadeau for the better part of a year at least, I didn't notice it as much as freshman year. Definitely noticed it this year. I mean, he's out there flying around making dangerous plays that borderline dirty constantly. He puts himself in the line of danger. He puts his opponents in the line of danger, just flying around, making non-basketball related plays. He's been called for it a bunch. When it's not that, if it doesn't cross the danger line, it's just pure head bobbing flop nonsense. It's everything I criticize Jeremy Fears for. And it's going to be hard for me to root for that. It's just flat out, it's going to be hard for me to stomach that and hard for me to root for that. And I think people by now know that I am a weirdo who has a horrible, I don't know, just wrong, non working brain and heart. And I don't function like a normal fan who can just root for everybody that puts my team's colors on. Not how it works for me. It never has been, never will be. This is my least favorite player in the country, and now he's my point guard. So I got to come to terms with that. I'm certainly not preying on his downfall, but um, I'm not ever going to get to a point where I enjoy how this kid plays basketball. And if that does change, it will be the most impressive thing that Dusty May has done because that will mean that he reinvented a player that I think plays a despicable brand of basketball and turns him into something redeemable. I'll give him that opportunity to do that. I'm certainly not expecting it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. That's probably why we got along so quickly just from the jump. Like, I'm not gonna root for dudes on my team just because they're on my team. I've never been that way. I'm also not the type of guy that's like, just because you left, Oh, it's hugs and hand pounds. Like, no, no, brother. Like once you're gone, like we got a real issue. So like I definitely get where you're coming from with that standpoint. I wouldn't want to root for Elliot Cadeau. I think it's telling when players go to the portal, the reaction from fan bases. Elliot Cadeau's like, if nothing else, a monster name. It's a name that rings bells in college basketball circles. Um, Most North Carolina fans don't speak to me at this point, but the select few that do weren't like upset he hit the portal, and I
Yeah.
think that's extremely telling of a guy, especially one that is as big of a name as he is. You would think bare minimum his name would ring enough bells to garner some form of reaction in terms of like what are we missing out on? And that doesn't seem to be the case from Carolina fans, where like, you know, it's an amicable split, best for both parties. Yeah, all that might be true. It's significantly better for North Carolina than it is Cadet.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right, can I try and now put my like what is Dusty May thinking hat on?
Yeah.
Because if I were going to try and make the argument on behalf of Dusty, which to be clear, I'm not, I'm just doing this for content purposes. If I was trying to make the argument defending Dusty, it would be this. Last year, people thought the Vlad and Danny thing was crazy. I mean, that concept was something that on paper made no sense. Bring in two 7-footers, force them to play together. One of them's going to be your point guard. Haha, yeah, right. And that worked out, right? So, like, I do think in general, Dusty May is an overwhelmingly competent coach. I don't think he's shown us anything to believe that something he's tried has just flat out failed. No roster he's put together since his rosters at FAU have flat out failed. Anything he's tried, he's made work. So I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt in that sense. Um, I think if I were him, the justification for prioritizing Cadeau quickly would be this: you're losing Wolf. You hate your guards. I don't think you bring in this guy if you don't hate your guards. And not to put that type of harsh word on it, but let's just be real about this. He benched Roddy Gale. He benched Trey Donaldson at times. Namari Burnett's moving on. Who's supposed to be back? You might believe in Kayson's upside. I think Kayson could play off ball next to a true point guard. But this is a move you make if you are basically implying I don't care what happens to Gale and Donaldson. I don't think this move is made because you can't play Gale and Cadeau together. If you do, that's a spacing disaster. And I think if you try to play Donaldson together with Cadeau, it's not going to work. They're too small. I don't think it works defensively. I think Donaldson could be okay playing off ball a little bit offensively, but that's not the backcourt you want. You need somebody with size and big time shot making. Right now, there's nobody on the roster capable of doing that. So, to me, that's the try and make sense of this angle. Is Dusty May drawing a line in the sand, saying, you know what, we're going to completely get new guards, whole new backcourt. And if you are going to do that, look, I hate him. I'm not a fan of how he plays basketball. And to the Cadeau family, I'm sure you'll probably find this because you guys are more online than anything I've ever seen. I don't mean to disrespect your kid. I will root for him in a Michigan uniform. Um, he makes sense somewhat of like trying to be the guy you build around and orbit around because he is a genuinely great passer. He's a genuinely great playmaker. His assist numbers are through the roof. He had a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Like that, he is every bit the creator that Danny Wolf was.
Mhm.
So if you're Michigan, you lose Wolf, you have no creator. Trey Donaldson can't play point guard. Nobody on the roster is good at this. Somebody you're bringing in has to be the setup guy that runs things. And I think this is Dusty May and the Michigan staff basically being saying, let's get that guy first. We'll figure everything else out later. And again, I wish they would have gone a different direction. I don't think this is going to work, but I can at least understand it from that sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I can see the vision from that sense. My only argument would be, and it's the argument's not necessarily to you, but if that's Dusty's thought process, I mean, Dusty, like if you got mad at Trey Donaldson, you got mad at Roddy Gale, like do you not think you're gonna get mad at Elliot Cadeau too? Like that would be my only argument of like if those players pissed you off, what's Elliot gonna do when he like headbutts somebody or power bombs somebody on a fast break
Right.
or refuses to take a 3-pointer when the guy's guarding him inside the paint or goes 0 of 7 from three and while they're guarding him like that. There's just so many aspects of Elliot Cadeau's game that's extremely frustrating to where like if the issue is like so and so made you mad, I get it. There's a lot of guards in the portal that like I think you I don't know. Who knows how much money Cadeau got? And I think like maybe that'll change the way I'm thinking about this even more. But there's a lot of guards in the portal you could have got probably for similar money, I would assume, based upon name brand, and who was involved in the process that like fit the same mold and also when it won't frustrate you. And I do understand his frustrations with a Trey Donaldson, obviously with a Roddy Gale, definitely with the younger guys too as well. But I think it's just the answer that he came up with is still frustrating.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing the same charade, I feel like, about a year from now.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's impeccably possible. So I'm not gonna listen. I think this is real. I don't expect that you'll ever see me on camera this year excited and happy about Elliot Cadeau's performance in Michigan uniform. It's not a guy I can envision myself enjoying. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that he proves me wrong. I hope that he cuts out the dirty plays. I hope that he cuts out the foul baiting nonsense. He's a talented kid. There's no doubt about that. But like I can't run from 2 years of receipts of me saying he's my least favorite player in the sport into this is my guy, let's go. That's just not it's not how I operate or how this works. I'm going to give him a clean slate and hope what I see going forward is different. But I'm not expecting this to change. So we'll see what Dusty May can make out of this. Um, Last thing from me on this, there's a lot of like, this is already so damn tiring to me. There's so much Elliot Cadeau, Jeremy Fears bitching from Michigan and Michigan State fans back and forth right now. And I've been loud in all of our recaps talking about Fears as much as I have been Cadeau. They're probably my two most frustrating watches in the country at the point guard position. These guys are going to kill each other trying to foul each other out of the game when they match up. So I want to implore Michigan and Michigan State fans together on the same notion that we came together to save the Big Ten. Let's come together on this. These two kids are not worth debating who's better. Don't do it. Just sidestep it. I don't know. We don't need to waste our time on the internet arguing that a guy that averaged 6 and 5 is better than a guy that averaged 9 and 6. They flop, they foul bait, they whine. That's it. And Fears is a lot better as a leader and a toughness guy. I can tell you that. My new point guard is Jeremy Fears without the toughness. So I got to come to terms with that. But I'm begging the whole internet to just spare me. I can't do a year of Fears versus Cadeau debates. I don't have it in me. I'm all right. He's been my point guard for 3 hours, Dion. I can barely speak right now.
Can we go from save the Big Ten to hashtag save everyone's time by not debating Jeremy Fears versus Elliot Cadeau?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. What are the percent chances he proves me wrong?
Slim. Slim. I'd say like between 15 and 20 probably.
It's a Jawan Howard ass ad. And it would be one thing too. I said this in the forums. It would be one thing if this was like a break glass in case of emergency ad. To make this ad be the first move of your offseason, the centerpiece, the set the tone for everything else we're gonna do, is a massive red flag for me with Dusty May. Because in year one, I could excuse it. Year one, Dusty said I didn't get the guard I was looking for. Trey Donaldson's my best guard ad. I was trying to get another, didn't get one. And we excused that. You've had a full damn year. And your first move, your first chess move, the king you move on the board is Elliot Cadeau in year two. That's the future guy. It better work. It better work. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of people like me that are just like, obviously this won't work. Why did you think this would work? So we'll see. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he earned that this year. I don't think Cadeau's earned any benefit of the doubt based on how his second season went. So add those two together, we'll see. I also need to end on this note, preemptively. I did something I've never done. I've never preemptively blocked someone on Twitter until today, and I'm not proud. But from what I know from previous conversations with others involved, I think Elliot Cadeau's mom is not going to like me. So for the sake of her and me, I just did a little pre-block. That's all I did. Is that a fair move for me?
It's a fair move. I would unblock her though. So me and Draymond Green's mom have had a back and forth for about a decade now. It stopped 4 or 5 years ago, but she had me blocked during when did Buddy get suspended from the finals? 16? Yeah, she had me blocked in 2016. I got unblocked in 2018. She blocked me again after he screamed at KD, and subsequently caused KD to leave. She unblocked me again, um, when we sucked. And now we don't really communicate. But shout out Mary Barbers Green. That's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah, maybe Michelle and I can get there. But I blocked her already just to be safe. So no hard feelings, but I know she got into it with North Carolina fans a lot, and I can only imagine. I mean, this is the tone I'm starting off on. She didn't ask for this. I'm trying to protect her honestly from this. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that 2 years of watching this despicable brand of basketball has led me to feel this way. But like I said, wipe the slate clean. What did Cart say? Where's the whiteboard? Wipe it clean. Let's do that. I will give Elliot this season to win me over. I'm very unexpecting that, but I've been wrong before, Dion. Maybe I'm wrong again.
By Danny Wolf.
Yeah, goodbye, Dan. And goodbye, everybody on Michigan, apparently. Except for Roddy Gale, who is three for his last 39 from three and will fit perfectly with a non-shooting point guard.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.